Hi, Cosmic Witches. Welcome back to the Divine Gossip Girls podcast. We just wanted to go over what we're really loving spiritually right now, sort of like a spiritual favorites little episode, what we're doing in our practices, maybe things that we want to look into more and learn, just kind of spiritually, what is a constant in our lives right now, what's really helping our energy right now and what we've been leaning on. So today's will be short and sweet, just sort of some recommendations, what we've been interested in, and we would love it if you would share this episode on your stories in whatever way you can and let us know what your favorite spiritual routines, practices, items, whatever they are. What are your spiritual faves right now? We would love to hear from you. And let's just get right into the episode. Hey, Cosmic Witches! Divine Gossip Girls here, your one and only source into the spiritual happenings of the cosmos.
Ever wonder what this month's energy will have in store for you? What the planets and stars are even up to? Or if the universe can just help you catch a break already?
Well, lucky you, because we have all the spiritual secrets to tell. Get ready to sip on your weekly dose of divine tea.
So I'll just start out because I kind of brought this to the table of what we could talk about today. I think this is really something I've been thinking about because I've really been changing up my spiritual routines lately. I was traveling for 2 months this summer and I couldn't do my routines exactly like normal because I wasn't in my own space, but also because it was so hot in Italy this summer and we didn't have an air conditioning in the second month, so I wasn't doing my workouts. I wasn't doing certain things that I would normally do, and I didn't have all of my things with me. And then I went home, and that was just a whirlwind because I hadn't been home in years. So now I'm sort of rooting back into my routines, but I'm trying to find like what this version of me likes, what this version of me needs in the morning, because I was trying to do my old routines, and it just was not sparking my energy. It was not filling me with the joy and the nurture and what I needed to start my day off with. And I just wasn't feeling spiritually connected with myself. So something that I've been doing recently, which might be shocking to people that I don't normally do this, but I have been pulling a tarot card for myself in the morning. I used to do this a lot when I first got into tarot, but I've always been a reader who reads for other people a lot more than I read for myself, because I usually, if I want a reading, I just go to another reader. I like to get that outside sort of take, but I've been pulling myself a tarot card in the morning and a self-care oracle card, and then journaling on setting my intentions. I used to journal like deep questions, things like that, but it just hasn't been sitting well with me. I haven't been enjoying it. I haven't been making the time for it. So I'm just pulling myself a card. I have this really cute desk, which if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen in some of my stories, that came with my apartment. It's this little, it looks like a little witchy apothecary desk. The desk part folds down and it has these hidden drawers and it's all wooden and it's really pretty. So I have it set up with like a bunch of candles and I just light them in the morning and I pull my cards and I sit here and I look out my window and it's just this little moment for me, and it only needs to take about 5 minutes, but it sets me up for the day so well and just really allows me to set the intention of, okay, do I need more grounding today? Do I need to speak up? Should, if I pull something with the swords, which for me is always communication and air, maybe that means I'll be recording today. Maybe that means I'll call a friend that day. Like, what do I need to use my voice for? Looking at that card. And it really just helps me to wrap my head and my mind around like what my energy looks like today. And so that's been really, really helping me, and something that I want to lean into more and that I want to be doing moving forwards. So check out my Instagram at Spring Moon Oracle if you don't follow me already, and you can see me working with this a little more closely as I've really been getting into kitchen witchcraft, where you're working with herbs and what that brings and like the food that you're eating, what that's doing energetically to you, not necessarily on a nutritional level, but on an energetic level. I really love to work with crystals, and crystals are the idea that everything natural on the earth has energy, and how your energy matches up with something else's energy is going to impact and change your own. And that's how crystals work, right? They have their own energy. You meet in the middle and you're like, this is grounding me. This is making me like fly off into space. This is cracking something open and forcing me to look at it and heal. And herbs do the same thing. Plants do the same thing. A lot of them can be grounding, but something I know, like rosemary, helps to work with the subconscious mind. It brings memories up to the forefront and different things like that. So really being intentional with the herbs that you're working with. Maybe you want to be more intuitive and you're really looking at sparking your intuition. So looking at maybe something like rosemary, maybe a different herb is going to bring that out, and cooking with that and bringing that into your space. It's definitely something that I am only just dipping my toes in, but I want to go with more and more and more. And my little Gemini heart, as soon as I get an idea, I'm like hyper focus on that and do nothing else aside of Gemini sun with ADHD, but that's all I want to do. So those are kind of my spiritual favorites right now, what I'm personally doing spiritually. Carly or Sophie, did you want to roll with it?
Yeah. First of all, I just wanted to say, Maggie, I love both those things. I always try to explain to people how crystals work. And for some reason, to me, it just makes so much sense. I'm like, you guys, this isn't that woo. It's like science, like energy. It comes from the earth, minerals, rocks, all of it contains a different frequency, a different energy. But I guess some people just aren't attuned to energy. So I'm like, it makes sense. But yeah, I love that. And I love the pulling a tarot card each morning, because I feel like sometimes as we wake up in the morning, our mind is in so many different directions that we just need an intention and a focus for our day. So when you pull that card, it's like, okay, like this can be an intention. This can be where I direct my energy. So I'm not just so all over the place, in like a million different directions. It's like a center. It's a focusing thing.
I like to use tarot for like morning pulls. I don't like to pull it and be like, oh my gosh, this means that this horrible thing is going to happen, or this means that, something amazing is going to happen. I don't like to use it as like a future telling tool. If I get like a bad card, it means probably that like I will be more susceptible to be bothered by things, or to be in a bad mood, or to like really be put off by something. Like I'm going to be a little more sensitive probably. And so I like to know that, to be like, okay, I can be aware of that, and I can go throughout my day saying, you are not your energy.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
This is just something that you're experiencing now. You are not your energy. You can continue to move through it. I just like setting that intention.
Right. And I think that's powerful too. I know I'm going to get to mine, but it's powerful too, just because so many people will use tarot as like a prescription, or like as something that they're like, this is what is going to happen. This is what I need to follow. But it's more so like just giving you the energetic undertone of something. So you can be like, okay, energetically, the undertone today is this. Like, this is kind of what I'm working with. So how can I lean into that and make the most of my day, knowing that this is the underlying energy in me right now? So yeah. Anyways, the power is in your hands. The ball is in your court. Do not give your power away to anything. But I think for me, something that I have been connecting to a lot recently is working with my like angel guides and doing like, I don't even want to, I guess it's meditation. It's more like trance meditation, because for me, like core meditation is like breath awareness, like when I sit down and I focus in on the breath. But when I'm going to like connect with my guides, I don't even know what to call that. Channeling, I guess. It's when I channel.
When you say trance meditation, do you mean like transcendent meditation? Like you're going somewhere else?
Like I'm going to like other realms kind of, and connecting to other energies. And
more of a hypnosis.
Yeah, like hypnosis, channeling, whatever you may call it. But I have been doing two things. Number one, I have been getting more solid with my daily meditation, like concentration meditation. For me, that's my root. So I'm like, I focus in on a root and I focus on a rise. So my root right now is my grounding meditation that I do every single morning. It's a non-negotiable. I at least have to meditate for 15 minutes every morning. And it's so strange how the ego kind of works, where it's like you just brush your teeth, because I do it right after I brush my teeth. And I'm like, oh, like my coffee would be so good right now, though. Maybe I could just meditate after my coffee, or maybe I could just meditate once I like do this. And I have just started to get into the habit of making it just a non-negotiable. I'm like, I don't care what thoughts my ego is going to throw out there for me to derail me and not do this meditation. But I remember there when I volunteered at a Buddhist nunnery, there was like this sign. It says, if you have time to breathe, you have time to meditate. And I'm like, it is so true how it's like or there's another quote. I don't know who said this, but probably like some guru, but it's like, if you think you don't have 20 minutes to meditate today, meditate for 30. Because it's this whole idea of like, you have time. You just have to create it for this. So my daily morning meditation has been so crucial in grounding my energy and just allowing me to regulate my nervous system. And from that state is like, after I do my 15 minutes of breath awareness, it's like I jump into like the deepest channeling where I'm like super, because that's how you do it. You have to root to rise. If your mind is like in a million directions, how are you going to receive a download? Like your intuition is quiet. You know, your connection to the divine comes from a loving energy. So if you're in the energy of fear, it's going to be hard for you to connect spiritually. So from there, then I go to my rise, where I have just been loving to connect with my ascended masters, I guess, that have been coming through. And I've had very core meditations where I see like beings and stuff, but I don't like, I'll ask what their names are, but like it's always hard for me to understand because it's like my human mind is like, what is that name? I've never heard of it. And it's usually some like crazy name. But recently I have figured out who two of them are. And I'm like, no way. So I have been working with them so closely and they have been helping me and just feeling so much peace. And also discovering that I am meant to channel messages from guides. That has been like a core awareness that I've come to within the past 2 weeks is like, you're supposed to be this communicator. You're supposed to channel for other people. Like,
I'm so excited.
Yeah,
that's
like
so fun. I love channeling for guides. You're gonna have so much fun.
And I've already been kind of doing it, but I just didn't realize like they created this space where I'm supposed to go to and meet the guides. And I'm like, okay, so I've just been loving that. And I think that's something that more and more like I'm connecting to my highest self for wisdom and I'm creating like a very close relationship with my highest self. So I would have to say those are my two favorite things, I guess, my spiritual kind of connection practices. And I'm just leaning into them further. So we're going to see where that goes.
I love it. So fun about you.
I love that so much. And I love that all of us have our own like unique ones and they kind of like make sense to us. Like it makes sense that you're like Maggie's one is Maggie's one and Carly's one is Carly's one. And I'm going to get you guys, not to guess, but like maybe just in your heads, guess what mine's is going to be, like the one that like I have been doing to connect with the universe. And I guess it's been like two, and they're not like deeply spiritual like you guys, but I have been like
everything is spiritual.
Well, I have been dancing with the universe. So obviously dancing is like a big part of like, I guess me, like not, I'm good at dance. I cannot dance. Maybe in a past life I was a dancer. Who knows? But I'm not good at dance. Like I'm goofy dance, but I love moving my body. I love music. I love allowing music and movement to connect me with the universe, to heal me, like energetically and subconsciously and spiritually. So I kind of like this started, I've always done this, but I guess like intentionally started to do this more often because I did slip into like this season of like deep lack and ego and like real disconnection to the universe. Like I really lost a lot of disconnection to it and trust within it. Because I was going through a major tower moment. I feel like I've been going through a tower moment for the past year and this is me like truly coming out of it and at the end of it. But I started doing this practice of, I had these two specific songs. One is called Touch of Heaven, and that's been like a song that I connect to the universe with for the past 2 years, but I always just sat with it, you know, but I kind of was like, right, okay, like how can I just like spice this up a little, like shift the energy within this a little bit? And I actually move with it. I move with the universe. I allow the universe to like move through me, you know, become one with that energy. Allow it to move me. I'll move through me. Allow it, the universe to like cleanse any kind of like blocked as well, like as I move that energy as well. And that's been like really healing. And like there's been times where I know that a lot of you guys who are listening who have come from my like community, but also are part of Carly's and Maggie's, because I know that we have this big community of people as well from Aura Elevation. But rainbows are obviously my spiritual sign, and I do this intentionally. Like when I see a rainbow, which is all the time, I seen one today because I asked for a sign, and of course I got it. And I seen a rainbow today, and but like often when I do, like I put these songs on that allow me to, like, the words, the energy behind it connect me to the universe, and I just like sit with the universe, dance with the universe, with that rainbow, with the music. And it's just so healing. And it just like, I don't know, there's something about it for me. It just like allows me to connect deeper with that energy. So that's something that I've been like, and being more intentional with and being like committing to more often. Like even when I feel like that I'm getting into my head, I'm getting into the ego, like I'm feeling a bit resistant, I may be falling into like that scarce mindset or something, like I'll just like step away, put this song on, so it's Touch of Heaven or We Shall Be Known, and I put these songs on, whichever one I'm feeling called to at that time, and I'll just like dance with them, and like the energy and the music and the words and that those sensations start to like move through me and reconnect me with like the universe and myself as well. So that's something that is like a spiritual favorite, Sophie's spiritual favorite.
I love it. You know what I love the most about that whole thing that you just said was you prefacing it with, this is so funny to me.
What did I say?
You prefacing it with, this isn't that spiritual. And then going on to say, the universe becomes one with me. That's spiritual. I just become the universe.
I feel like that's like the truth though. Like if anyone is sitting there saying, oh, what I'm doing isn't spiritual enough, like what the fuck does that even mean?
Yeah, let's just remove
like
that.
let's just remove that mindset, because whatever you do that allows you to connect to this like infinite potential and like this reminder that you are connected and that you are part of this interconnected web is a spiritual practice. Anything that allows you to connect back to your energy can be a spiritual practice. Like for me, going in my car, playing some vibey ass music and just like singing when I need to, or letting out a good ass cry, or sometimes
having a conversation
with someone or with yourself, with the universe, with like that can be spiritual. It's really just whatever feels good for you.
I say to people, put away the phone, sit there and intentionally pay attention and watch a movie. And enjoy it.
You see that.
Like, don't numb yourself. Like, so many people will like put on a movie, but they'll be like on their phone the whole time, right? They'll be like cooking dinner or something. They'll be like doing other things.
Multitasking.
So much of our entertainment now has become like multitasked or mashed with something else or put in the background that I'm like, sit down with someone, by yourself, whatever, and intentionally watch that movie and don't do anything else but watch the movie. And that is such a powerful practice of like presence and intention and like filling your own cup and pleasure that we so much of the time think, oh, screen's bad, but like that is such like a precious moment that you can have with yourself. And it seems so silly and easy, like just watching a movie, but like that can be a spiritual moment as well.
Yeah, and it's funny that you mentioned those car like conversations and those like car talks or whatever, because that was something that I put in as well. Like I like to like just get in my car and like feel free to just speak aloud or even like scream sometimes, you know? Like,
oh my God, the rage.
Yeah, like
car
allow
rage is
the
the
rage.
best. I'm like, let
to
me
come
scream.
Yeah, so I do that in my car sometimes. And something else that I've been really enjoying as well is like actually going for a walk, like that ground to rise, that kind of concept where I love going a walk while listening to my own meditation. But I love walking meditations as well for like allowing yourself to regulate, to ground, but also to connect to the energy of the universe. That's like a major, like one reason I started doing like more walking meditations was for me to like regulate my nervous system, to ground, but also to be in that energy of like the universe, be outside and like to be able to connect to like the ground, but also to connect with the universe and also to connect with my own work as well and my own heart and what I have to give. So that's something that I've been doing a lot lately as well, and something that I want to lean into, which I have never. Well, I have obviously with Maggie and stuff like that, but I don't have my own like deck of tarot cards. Like I don't even have I don't have a deck.
Oh my
I don't know why.
gosh, it's
I
time.
don't know why, but it is time. I think it was just like I just was prioritizing other things to buy. That's all. But I feel like it is time because that's what I wrote. And before you guys spoke about how like you can use tarot like in the morning to be more intentional, like that is what I wrote. Like I would love to like have that part of my morning routine to like set that intention like divinely with myself and the universe and allow that to be the energy that I like step into throughout the day. So maybe I'll get it for a little Christmas present for myself.
You
We
should.
can do it. We can all pull ourselves a card every day and tell each other our
Yay!
intentions. How fun.
Yeah, you
I love
guys
it.
too. Anyone listening, share your tarot. I feel like we're gonna have to start like some sort of community for this podcast because we're feel like every other thing we say, we're like, all right, guys, and share it with us.
Oh my God, we actually should. Let us know if you would like us to like create like a Discord group or some sort of like private Divine Gossip Girls group because I feel like that would be super fun.
So fun. So
I
fun.
would love that.
Well, thanks for sitting and chatting spiritual stuff with us. Thanks for coming along with our little spiritual favorite things chat today. It's been a lot of fun. I love to hear what other people are doing. I think it inspires me to look into different things, but also to keep doing what I'm doing when you hear how much people are getting from their own spiritual practices. So set an intention. What's yours going to be, or what's something that's really been helping you out. But we will see you in the next episode. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yay.
Thank you,
Bye,
guys.
guys.